We are finally here. The hardest to easiest boss tier list for Black Myth Wukong. I'm going to be adding all the secret bosses in here. Some of them I did not fight. I think I fought 99% of bosses. I might have missed out on one or two here or there. We will get there. But this is going to be the hardest boss to the easiest boss. And then I added this section, like I just mentioned, for people I didn't fight. So let's get into this immediately. The Opera Mana Bat. This dude, he was easy. This guy is in chapter 3 in the little area where the big turtle's standing over there, where he's sitting in all the water. He drops the tear down. He's over there in that area. This dude's pretty easy, man. He was a first try boss for me. You're relatively strong in chapter 3, so he's going to go there. All of the frogs. Now, we have the Ba Lang Lang frog right here. I would say probably average, man. He's probably average. I would say, I think this is the poison frog here that you fight in chapter 2. Or no, chapter 4. Chapter 4 when you're going through the little caverns with all the spiders. He was the hardest of the frogs, except for the one in chapter 6 for me, but we'll get there. And then the Ba Li Gu Lang. The Ba Li Gu Lang. Is this the guy that goes into stone? No, this is the boss. Oh, this is the chapter 1. This is the chapter 1 frog. He was easy, man. He was easier than the Opera Mana Bat, for sure. Actually, I'm going to put him in very easy, bro. He was very easy. Okay. Bishui, Golden-Eyed Beast. This is a chapter 5 secret boss. In this boss fight, you can actually break an ice wall to go into a different area to make this boss fight a little bit easier. If you utilize that, if you're really strong, I think in chapter 5, I think you have the best build capabilities in chapter 5. Dude was kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. He slams the ground with a lot of fire. I think he was difficult, man. I don't think he was very difficult, but I think he was difficult. So I'm gonna put him in the difficult range right there. Yeah, he was definitely difficult. Black Bear Guai. This is, I believe, the chapter 1 final boss? Yeah, chapter 1 final boss right here, right? Big boy, fire boy. You get the fire mantle. You can throw the fire mantle on to fight this guy, which makes him a little bit easier. I think he is difficult, but I don't think he is very difficult. I would not put him in the very difficult category. So I would put him definitely over average, but under difficult. And I don't think he's as hard as Bishui, the Golden Eye boy. So we're going to put him right there. Next is Black Loong. Now, this dude, bro, I'm going to tell you right now. This dude was one of my least favorite boss fights. He was so annoying. He was cool. He goes, boom, boom, boom. Slams lightning all over the place, bro. In chapter 2 specifically, he's a secret boss in chapter 2. He's part of the Loong quest line. And this dude, man, the problem with this dude is that you don't have, in chapter 2 in general, you don't have a lot of capabilities to pop off on bosses in chapter 2. You really don't. You're not as strong as you're going to be comparatively to the bosses like in chapter 5. So, chapter 2 was one of the hardest chapters in my opinion for that reason. We're going to put him right here. He was harder than Black Bear Guai 100% in my opinion. Took me way more tries at least. Once you get used to him and you get used to his moves, it makes him a little bit easier. So next here is the Black Wind King. This guy's in chapter 1, towards like kind of the middle, near the secret location where you have to fight Big Head Elder Jinchi. A little bit after that, I believe. Now this guy is difficult. That's all I'm gonna say. He goes into little black mist. He comes out. He starts popping off on you. He's one of the first boss fights where I think not all of your skills really be working on him consistently. I think he was harder than Black Bear Guai. I don't think he was as hard as Black Loong. He was very close to Black Loong for me. So we're going to put him right in the middle. There. Brown Iron Cart. I mean, like most of the carts, they're some of the easiest in the game. I honestly think it was a little bit harder than this frog. So we'll put him there. But, I mean, bro, he was so easy. There was only one hard cart boss, in my opinion, in chapter 5. Now, all the carts are in chapter 5. So, Buddha's right hand. I don't think he was... Okay, this is a pretty easy fight. Chapter 4, you got the hand that's coming down, swinging in the hallway. I mean, he was very easy for the most part. I think he goes above the very easy category, though, into just easy, probably. Or he's at the top of the very easy category. I think he can probably kill you one time, but once he kills you one time, you're not going to get killed by him again. So we'll keep him right there. We'll keep him right there where he's at. Bulgard, very easy. Very easy. This is chapter 1, like the first boss you fight right when you get your immobilization. You're still getting used to the game. He's supposed to be a legit introductory boss. So we're just going to put him right there. I don't even really consider him a full boss, but he's right there. Captain Culpa Wave. This is chapter 3. Towards kind of, I believe, the middle of chapter 3. Chapter 3 is definitely the longest and most, like, side area chapter in the entire game. It has so many different side areas. You're really starting to come to your own in chapter 3. And I think this guy is definitely on the average to... Yeah, he's definitely average. I believe he's harder than... Not the poison frog, but... Yeah. I'll put him under the frogs because I beat this dude first try. He's at the temple when you're going up, and he's like in a little red, crazy little beam that's starting to look like Bloodborne. But bro, I beat him really quick. These frogs honestly give me some more trouble. Maybe that's just me not being able to fight the frogs. But I beat him quick. He was very average. Very average. I think some people might have a little bit of trouble on him, but I cooked him real quick. But I don't think he's easy. I just don't think he's difficult. Captain Lotus Vision. Now this dude, bro. He's the most annoying boss fight, in my opinion, in the entire game. He hits you with domain expansions the entire time. Goes crazy. He throws shooting stars down at you like it's nothing. And he's one of the most annoying bosses in the entire game. He's the reason I'll probably do an annoying boss tier list after this tier list. And we are going to throw him above the frogs. He's not hard, okay? He is not hard. He's just annoying, bro. He's just annoying. In chapter 4, I genuinely think... Oh, he was in chapter 3. Genuinely think one of the most annoying chapters in the game. Even though I loved a lot of it. But where he's at is the most annoying part of the entire game. Where the thing spins and your health just starts boom, 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 going down. And you got the little lantern boys running around. You got the little lantern boys. It's annoying. It's annoying. It's like the Dark Souls swamp areas of Black Myth Wukong. That's what it is. Captain Wise voice. Now this dude, he's right after Lotus Vision. Part of the captains. Now I'm going to put him... in my opinion, he was the easiest captain other than Culpa Wave. I think he was probably right there. I like that. He's average. He's not easy. He's not hard. He might be hard for some people. He does hit you with some domain expansions, the way a lot of the captains do. The problem with Captain Wise voice, though, is he just doesn't do enough damage. I feel like if you can really pop off on him. If you do heavies, if you do heavies and you knock him on the ground, you can easily run up to his head and start banging his head all the way in until he dies pretty quickly. So he's not too hard. Centipede Guai. Now this dude, I don't really remember all of his moves too crazy much. I believe he's in chapter 4. I'm going to put him in. I mean, he was pretty easy, man. He was pretty easy. I beat him first try. I didn't really have a huge issue, and I don't even really remember his moves too much. I'm going to put him harder than Upper Mana. He's still going to stay into easy, though. We're getting a phone call. Got it. It was a spam call. Get him out of here. Chen Loong. Now, this guy is also in Chapter 3. He's going to give you the Ryu Scroll, and he's going to fly you up there with the Ryu Scroll, and then you're going to get the hub area, okay? So he's part of that quest line. You just got to give him some medicine. So Chen Loong, where are we going to put him? He was easy. Harder than the Centipede, I think, but he was easy. That's where I'm going to put him right there. He was very, very easy. Well, not very easy, but you know what I mean. Cloud Treading Deer. Now, this dude, I don't really remember his moves too much either. I'm going to throw him in with the Centipede Guai right there. I don't even remember where he was in the game, really. Oh, wait, is this the guy in... Wait, hold on. Is this the guy in Chapter 6? I take everything I said right back. Very difficult. This dude cooked me, man. Oh, my God, this dude cooked me. Not for... I mean, I beat him relatively quick. But, damn. He has 2 phases. His first phase is like an ice phase, and I thought that was it, bro. He does so much damage, and you can't really hit him because he's always got things flying around coming at you, bro. And then he goes into that, like, blood phase or whatever that's called with all the red shit going around. Yo, he is a pain in the ass. He does so much damage. He might be one of the hardest bosses in all of Chapter 6. if you don't include the last boss, if you don't include Wukong. That dude was a pain in the ass because of how much damage he does, man. Oh my god, you come into him thinking you're cooking every boss in Chapter 5 popping off, and he will make you rethink some things, bro. The Cloud Treading Deer is hard, dude. I cannot believe I forgot about him. This picture wasn't great for him. Next, Commander Beetle. Alright, this dude is in Chapter 4. He's towards the end of Chapter 4. Right before you go to the Court Illumination and you go up to the Taoist big boy himself. The domain expansion user. Now, we're going to throw him. I do believe he was difficult, bro. I do believe he was kind of difficult because he has all of the extra enemies with him that you got to take out first. And he will literally get you 75%, or he will literally get you to 25% health in one hit. But I don't believe he's that hard. You know, he's like I would say 3 chances on him for the most part. I would say he probably goes right here. At the end of difficult, a little bit above average. Now, Crimson Silver Cart, we're going to do the same thing, bro. Crimson Silver Cart, this is the hardest cart in the game. Unless I'm forgetting a specific cart, this was the hardest cart in the entire game, and it was still pretty easy. I beat it the first try, but I'm not going to lie, if I had to fight him again, I would not have beat him the first try. I'm just making sure there's no other carts that I'm missing out on this. This dude definitely cooked me for the sole purpose of he has a lot of health, and he does a lot of damage, and he hits you with the most BS movements I've ever seen in the entire game. He really does. So, next one here. Xian Loong. Now, this dude, bro, the Xian Loong was pretty easy. Right? No, wait. Hold on. I take this all back. Now, this dude right here, we're putting him up with Black Loong. For the one reason of he's the same with the Crimson Silver, where he will get you to 10% health in half a second. He is harder to Black Loong. He's right before you fight King Jane Star, one of the baddies of the game. She's a baddie. So we got to put him here. There's going to be a lot of people in difficult. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's a lot of difficult bosses in this game. Taoist Me. The next boss here. Taoist Me. I looked him up really quickly just to remember his moves. But I do remember this guy. He is in Chapter 4, kind of towards the ending part of Chapter 4 when you're going up again towards the Court of Illumination. A little bit before that. He's pretty average. I put him easier, a little bit easier even than the frogs. I probably put him at the end of the average. He is really not that hard. Doesn't have a lot of health. You can kind of cook him pretty quick with a lot of different abilities. We're just going to throw him right there. Now, Duskvale. So, Duskvale is interesting because if you fight Scorpion Lord first, I don't think he comes to help you in the Duskvale fight. So that makes it a little bit harder. If you fight Scorpion Lord, you pretty much immediately just go to phase 2 of this fight. And I beat him my first try both ways. The second half is definitely harder than the first half. He does a lot of damage. I believe he is harder than... I'm going to put him right here. Harder than Commander Beetle and Crimson Silver, just in terms of in his moveset and what I've seen from other people. I think I got a little bit lucky on him. I'm going to be completely honest. So we're going to throw him right there. Now, his boss fight is one of the coolest in the entire game. One of the coolest boss fights in the game. The moon comes over. The moon comes flying over. He's in the secret area of Chapter 4. And it's like a Bloodborne boss fight. This is a Bloodborne boss fight. Alright, next one here with the Earth Wolf. I'm not gonna lie, I barely remember this dude. He's in the early parts of Chapter 2. He was easy, bro. This dude was easy. I'm gonna put him right here. Harder than the right hand, just because he's Chapter 2 and you don't have a lot of stuff yet. But he was easy. He was very easy. It was supposed to be easy. He's just like roaming around right at the start of Chapter 2. Now, Elder Armorworm. Elder Armorworm. Now, this one is a little bit interesting because I do think he was easy, but he was harder than these other boys. This is Chapter 4. You find him off the beaten path in Chapter 4. I believe he gives you a good spirit. He gives you some decent loot there. We're going to put him right here. I think that's a good place. Pretty unmemorable boss, but when he swings his little head around, he can do some big damage. I think he killed me one time accidentally when I was not paying attention to the health. Elder Jinchi, bro. Listen. Big head boys, I will always say, are some of my least favorite and favorite bosses in this whole game. I hate the big head boys. Because when they do the boom, you're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. I do think he's easier than the other big head that you fight before this guy in Chapter 1. Now, this is a Chapter 1 secret boss. The boss fight is cool as hell. But let's be honest. He's just difficult. I would say he was harder than the Guai. Easier than the Black Wind King. We're going to throw him right there. I think he was, just because of where you are in the game too. Like, I'm not saying this like just if you just run this on a new game plus and you have your full build. I just think he was harder at the point in the game you're in when you're still learning the game, right in Chapter 1. He's going to go right there. You don't have a lot of stuff to deal with him. You do not have a lot of stuff to deal with him. Emerald Armed Mantis. Now, this dude, I am sorry. I don't care what anybody says. This dude is very, very difficult. He is hard. He is not Cloud Treading Deer hard, but he does so much damage. You have to, this is Chapter 6, another Chapter 6 boss. You go inside of Baji, and I know that sounds crazy, pause, but you go inside of Baji, and you fight him inside of Baji. He's cutting up his inners, and he's one of the coolest bosses, I think, in the entire game. He's so cool. But oh man, he does a lot of damage. And the problem is he's like an Elden Ring DLC boss. He gives you no time to heal, man. He does not give you any time to heal. Oh my god, we got a lot more here. So we got to start cooking. Fast as wind and quick as fire. I mean, bro, come on. These dudes are so easy, bro. These dudes are so easy. Harder than Ken Long, easier than an armor worm. They just fly around. The dude rolls with the little fire. You throw on the fireman, so you cook these dudes in 2 seconds. This is a Chapter 5 boss, right at the start of Chapter 5, or pretty early on in Chapter 5, maybe like the midsection. But he's very easy. He's very easy. Now, the Father of Stones. I don't remember this dude too much. I believe this is a pretty bare bones Chapter 5 fight. I killed him very quickly. I don't even think I really took any damage other than maybe 1 hit. So I'm going to put this dude, honestly, right here in with the Centipede. Harder than Oppermata, easier than the Centipede. I think that's a good spot for him. I do think that's a good spot for him. All right, first Prince of Flowing Sands. Again, I'm actually, you know what? I think he was easier than Earthwolf. I cooked this guy so fast. This is a Chapter 2 boss. He's the one that you use to break the little area to start kind of doing the first part of the Loong quest to go back to Chapter 1 and fight that Loong. He's so easy, man. He's easy. He's easy. I want to say he's very easy, but he is easy. He is definitely easy. Now we get to the Flint Chef, another Chapter 5 boss. Listen, Chapter 5 is so interesting because these bosses are obviously easier than Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 bosses, right? Some of them. But the thing about him, bro, is that you're just so strong when you get to Chapter 5, I feel like. You have so many different abilities. You're cooking. You have your build going. So, I mean, he was just easy to me, bro. He was just really easy to me. I'm going to throw him right here, harder than Father of Stones. Right in the middle of that easy category. And we're going to do the same thing probably with the Flint Vanguard, man. Although I will say with the Flint Vanguard, though, he's another Chapter 5 boss. He's very close to the end, off kind of like a beaten path, right before you go up against Big Bull Boy and Little Boy, Red Boy. I will say he's definitely on the average scale. He's not as hard as the Poison Frog, in my opinion, because he just has all those little dudes around him, bro. Now, if you use a transformation, you clean them up, you can clean the actual main guy quick. You can firemantle him, run up. But he's definitely harder than the Flint Chef. I'll tell you that right now. Chief. Sorry, not the chef. Not the chef. Oh my god, now we're Erlang. Now we're Erlang. AKA Ishin. AKA Ishin. This dude is basically Ishin from Sekiro. I'm gonna be honest. He's one of the hardest bosses in the game. The only reason he's not as hard is because I played Sekiro first. And he got the same exact moves. He got the same exact moves as Ishin, bro. Same exact moves as Ishin. So you know where we're going to throw him? Right there. Top of very difficult. Now, if you don't know or you haven't fought Erlang, he is a secret boss. You have to do all the secrets pretty much in the entire game. And then you have to go back to the Buddha temple in chapter 3 in the mountains. And that is where you're going to fight him. That is where you're going to fight this dude. So I'm going to put him right there. I'm genuinely going to put him right there. That's where I feel like he belongs. This dude is hard as hell. He's the dude that you fight at the way start of the game when Wukong gets cooked and thrown back to the rock. So we're going to put him right there. Now we're on Fuban. This one might be a little bit controversial. Maybe not. I just think he's average. Even for chapter 2 standards, I think he is average. He's a secret boss in chapter 2. You get introduced by one of the most annoying bosses and potentially like the hardest boss in the entire game. The Yellow Wind Sage. I hate him. But we're going to put him top of average. I don't think he's crazy hard. Yeah, we're going to put him top of average. You know what? No, we're going to put him right here. Right below Dustveil. We're going to put him right there. Fungi Woman. Bro. This boss sucks. I hate this guy. Because he heals up and I still, to this day, don't know why he was healing. We're going to put him right there. This boss is in chapter 4. Towards the end of chapter 4. Very similar area to the Commander Beetle. Annoying. He's just straight annoying, man. He's really just straight annoying. Like, that's all I can really say about him. For real. That's really all I can say about him. Next, we get to Giant Shigandang. Chapter 6 Secret Boss. Now, all the Chapter 6 bosses, like I was saying, are relatively hard. This is probably, in my opinion, the easiest of them. But I'm going to still think he's difficult. Let's see, bro. This is a hard one. But I'm going to put him at the top of the difficult category. Because like I said, I feel like when you go into Chapter 6 and you're a little bit underpowered for those bosses, you're balanced for them, but you feel more underpowered than you did in Chapter 5. So we're going to throw him right there. Next is the Gold Armored Rhino, another Chapter 6 boss. This dude was hard. Because you gotta hit his horn in the right way to break his horn off and cook him. He has so much health, but he really doesn't do a lot of damage. He really does not do a lot of damage. So this is an interesting one for me. This is a very interesting one for me. He's harder than the Shigandang, but he's not very difficult. So we're going to put him right there. Yep, we're going to put him right there. I think that's a really good spot to put him. Now, next is the Gore-Eye Taoist. This dude is a very unmemorable boss. He's in chapter, I believe, 2. Towards kind of like the middle, early stages of chapter 2, from what I remember. Where are we going to put him? Probably very easy, in my opinion, man. That dude he was easy. I don't care what anybody says. He was very, very easy to me. Same with the gray bronze cart. We'll put him with the other cart. Very easy. I mean, he was very easy. For me. To me. Now, the green capped martialist. This is a secret boss. You're going to find him in chapter 4. You jump off the cliff. You find a little secret area. It's where you get the Spellbinder spell. This dude is interesting too, but I think he's easy. I think he's in the heart of the easy. No, we're going to put him in average. Right here. Because he was annoying. He throws a little ring of fire. He's a Beyblade boss for sure. So we're going to put him right here with the Taoist Me. I think this works for him. I do think this works for him. Now, Guang Mo. Bro, I literally forgot about Guang Mo. I literally forgot about Guang Mo, man. He's the one that summons a bunch of different things of himself. I think this guy actually gives you the first... No, I'm capping. Guang Mo, Chapter 1, summons familiars of himself. I mean, I beat him the first try, but I think he's average. I think I put him at the bottom of average. I don't think he's easy, especially because of where you fight him in the game. And then Guang Zi, honestly, he's in the same category. I think he was a tad harder than Guang Mo. He's probably even harder than the Taoist Mi. So we're going to throw him right here. Now, again, these are all my opinions. If you guys, this is starting to look a little bit crazy, but if you guys have different opinions, let me know in the comments. This is just where I'm at right now. 100-Eyed Taoist Master. Now, the 100-Eyed Taoist Master, man. If we're talking before you get the item to make him a lot easier from the secret areas, no joke, he's right here. If we're talking after that, he might be right here. No, I'm kidding. This one's hard for me. Okay, I'm going to say if you use the item or not, I'm going to do an in-between. Half the people use it, half the people don't use it. I think he's right here, bro. I genuinely do. He takes a long time to get used to. He has a lot of different moves. And that second phase is going to cook you. He is harder than Erlang if you do not have the item. He is genuinely harder than Erlang if you don't have the item. I genuinely believe that. And even with the item, I mean, he's pretty damn hard. This is hard, man. This is hard because I fought him so many times without the item and I had to go back and get the item and then I beat him first try. So if I'm doing like a median of that, I'm going to put him up there. This dude was so annoying. He's the... I don't know how I didn't say this already. This is the final boss of Chapter 4. The final boss of Chapter 4. You fight him right after the Court Illumination Shrine. I'm going to put him right there. Now, Kan Jin Loong. This guy was average. I'm going to put him the hardest of average. I think this is a great spot for him. He definitely is not difficult, man. I genuinely had a harder time with the Crimson Silver Cart than I did with him. I killed him on my second try. He seems a lot more intimidating than he actually is when you fight him. And this is a Chapter 3 boss, right towards like the middle of Chapter 3. Honestly, still towards the earlier parts because of how long that chapter was. He comes out of the lake, the Buddha, Yellowbrow summons his ass. Put him right there. And then honestly, the Kanjin Star, I'm going to put right a little bit harder. Honestly, I would say Kanjin Star is difficult. I'm going to put her right here. Some people think she's really easy. I thought she was harder than some people make her out to be. Pretty much all the moves work on her, though, so you can cook her. It's just when she pops into that lightning form in the second, if you're not good at dodging those beams that she throws onto the ground, you're going to get cooked. So she can chain you for some moves there. So I'm going to put her right there. It only took me like 5 tries maybe on her, but that's where I'm going to put her. Keeper of Flaming Mountains. Now, this guy is, I'm going to put the top of average. This guy's very easy. This guy's a Chapter 5 boss, towards the middle of Chapter 5, when you're talking to the mom and you're talking to the, you think, daughter or fox girl that is a baddie until she turns into a fucking dude. But we're going to put him right there. I beat him my first try, but he has 2 phases. So if you're not ready for that second phase, he'll cook you, but then you can just go back and you can cook him on a second try. He's pretty easy, but I would definitely not call him difficult. I would definitely not call him hard. Now, King and Second Prince. Now, these dudes, again, you fight. I think this is the first boss you got to fight 2 at the same time of. I mean, very average boss fight. I would put them, honestly, like right here. I wouldn't say it's easy. Honestly, no, we're going to put them top of easy. They're pretty easy. I mean, they're very easy, in my opinion. Not very easy in terms of putting them in that category, but we're going to put them right there. Now, the Stone Monkey. Y'all not going to like this. Is he easy, though? No, he's not easy. His first phase is easy. His second phase whoops some ass. We're going to put him right at the top of difficult, right below the Gold Rhino. I think the Gold Rhino No, we're going to put him harder than Gold Rhino. He's hard, but he's not crazy hard, to be honest. This is the last boss of the game before the last boss of the game. Before you fight the actual Wukong, this is Wukong without any of his stuff. So we're going to put him right there. I don't think he was as hard as the Mantis, the Deer, or the Taoist Master, or Erlang. Genuinely, I think they were all harder. So I'm going to put him right there. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. I think that's a good Now, Lang Bao Bao. Oh my God. Now, I'm going to be honest with him, bro. Is this the guy that turns to rock? Let me check real quick. I think he's the one that turns to rock, right? Yeah, this is definitely the one that turns to rock. Chapter 6. When you're going around, you're getting all the armor. He really doesn't even give you anything. When you kill this dude, he does not give you one of the armors. Y'all not going to like this. This dude cooked me. I couldn't figure him out. I couldn't figure him out. I really couldn't. I hate this frog. This genuinely is one of the hardest bosses in the game. And I have to be 100% honest about it. I'm throwing him up there. I don't care what anybody says. Look at that dude's face. He knows exactly who he is. He knows exactly the type of shit that he did to me. Put him up there. Langley Gubao? Isn't this the frog in chapter 2? I think this is the frog in chapter 2. Easy. I mean, he's easy. He's pretty damn easy. I honestly, I'd put him with the very easy frog. He's one of the easiest bosses in the entire game. He caused me absolutely no issues. Absolutely no issues at all. I barely remember him. He was so easy. I'm going to put him right there. Honestly, no. I'm going to put him, he's at the top of very easy. He's at the top of very easy. Yellowbrow. First encounter Yellowbrow. A lot of people not going to like this. Easy. First encounter. First encounter. I beat him first try. He literally barely got a hit on me. He barely got one hit on me. He's going to go right there. Now we got the Langley Gu Lang. Langley Gu Lang. This dude I'm going to throw with the other frogs. I'm going to put him like right here kind of. I'm going to put him like right there kind of. Kind of an annoying frog. I believe he's in chapter, 3 or something like that. Kind of unmemorable to me. I don't remember him too much. I'm going to put him right there. So apologies if he's easier or harder than that. I'm just going to throw him right there. I'm going to throw him right there. I know I said forgot or didn't fight, but we're going to throw him right here. I think I fought actually all these guys. Maybe I did fight all these guys. Well, I didn't fight this mad tiger, I don't think. Well, we'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get there. Lingloozy. All right, this dude's interesting. This is a chapter 1 boss. He was the guy in the trailer that you can kind of catch on fire when you pop off with that transformation that you get right before him that you get from my boy Guangxi. I beat this guy first try too, I think. Maybe second try. I think he's very average. He's a lot more intimidating than he actually is hard. So I'm going to put him like right here maybe in the average category right there. Yeah, that's a good spot for him. That's a good spot for him. Okay, first encounter. Makakwe Chief. Listen. Now, a lot of people not going to like this. This is the easiest boss in the entire game. He is the easiest boss in the entire game. He's easier than the Bull Guard, I genuinely believe this. He just bows to you, bro. He just straight up bows to you. This is chapter 3, the first guy you fight in chapter 3. And genuinely also, you get way stronger right when you enter chapter 3. Easiest boss. He is the easiest boss in the entire game. Makake Chef. Now, the sack encounter of Makake Chef, this is where we're at right now, the sack encounter. This is a different story. This dude was pretty damn hard. I also beat this guy first try, but it was very, 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 very close. And I'm going to put him in difficult because I think in terms of the other bosses, he's a difficult boss. I'm going to put him right under the Dusk Veil. I would say he's pretty difficult for the most part. He's a really cool boss. You fight him in the middle of the Yellowbrow sections. Right before the first and last Yellow Brow fights. We're going to put him right there. Now, the second encounter, I mean, he's easy, man. He's easy. We're going to put him right below Yellow Brow. He's very easy. This is another same boss. You just fight him a little bit later on in Chapter 3. We throw him right there. We're good to go, okay? That is where he is. I mean, where else would he be? Mad Tiger. I don't really remember the Mad Tiger, bro. Why don't I remember Mad Tiger? I think he's a secret boss in Chapter 2, but I really don't remember him that much, man. Should I just throw him in? I'm just going to throw him in Forgot. I completely forget about him, dude. I'll throw him with the Tiger Vanguard, because if I remember right, he's similar to the Tiger Vanguard. I don't remember him. Like, I genuinely just don't remember this dude at all in Chapter 2. I just don't remember him at all. Man in Stone. This guy is like he's like a secret item shop boss in Chapter 2, if I remember correctly. I mean, he was so easy. He was easy, man. I genuinely think he was very easy. Easier even than the frog. I'm going to throw him there. I think that's a good spot for him. Monk from the Sea. Now, bro, if you watched any of my streams from my playthrough, I hate these guys. I used this transformation until the fucking end of the entire game because of how much I hated these dudes. I could not get used to their moveset. This guy took me multiple tries. Boom! Difficult. I don't care. I do not care. Put him there. I'm putting him there. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know what it was with him. Mother of Stones. Ooh. Easy. But I'm going to put him higher up in the easy. I think he's like... First of all, Makake. I'm going to throw down to like... right past the Earth Wolf. Right here. Mother of Stones. I'm going to throw right above the Buddha's hand. Right there. I got cooked one time on this guy because I didn't really know his mechanics. It's a Chapter 2 boss. Basically, he just summons a bunch of rock dudes to run at you. If you know the other boss, like one of the, I think the Flint Vanguard it was, they have a very similar mechanic where they just have, not a similar mechanic, but you just have to fight them with their boys around them. With those big rock boys around them. And I hate the rock boys. They cook me. They're some of the most annoying enemies in the entire game. So we're going to throw them right there in easy, and we're going to keep it moving. Non-Able. He is Chapter 3 boss. Chapter 3 boss. Now, this guy cooked the living hell out of me my first try fighting him because I didn't realize he was going to have a second phase where he pulls out his hands. He is very able. Non-Able is very able when he pulls out him hands. And he does a lot of damage. But I still don't think he's difficult. I would still put him in average. But I'm going to put him at the top of average. I think he's harder than all these other dudes I have right here in average. He has a low health. Not very hard. But definitely not easy. 9-capped. Ling Zi Guai. I mean, I killed this guy in like 2 seconds. I killed this guy in literally 30 seconds. He's the hardest, very easy. You find him in Chapter 5. Just randomly sitting there. He's very similar to like this fungi woman boss. I'm going to throw him right there and very easy. Yellow Brow, second encounter. Ooh. Okay. This one is a whole different story. I don't think he's as hard as the Gold Rhino or the Stone Monkey. But he is difficult. I just wouldn't put him very difficult. I put him right here. Now, he probably took me as many tries as the Gold Rhino and the Stone Monkey. I would say he definitely took me probably as many tries as those two bosses. So we're going to throw him right there. He goes into, this is the, if I didn't say this is the final boss of Chapter 3. The final boss of the longest chapter in the entire game. And he just goes into gold. It's the first time you got to kind of get used to someone going into gold. You got to break that with the heavies. You got to jump out of his little circle statics. So we're going to put him right there. I think that's a good spot for him. Now, a couple of the more nons. All the other ones I think were really easy. I beat first try. They were not very hard for me. So we're going to throw all of these I think they're probably around... I think they're probably harder than... They're around this Father of Stones boss fight where, like, they were just easy, and I think I'm going to put all of them here. All of them were in the same category of being easy. Like, they were pretty easy, with non-pure maybe being the hardest. I don't know. They were all first try for me. I literally fought them when I didn't even have all of my stuff at the time because I hadn't rested at a shrine. There's a lot of areas around this chapter 3 part where there's not a lot of shrines. And it's just like a very interconnecting little palace area. So I'm just going to put them all there. They were all really easy for me, man. I'm going to be completely honest. So we're just going to throw them right there. Now, this next guy here, the old Ginseng Guai, is a coming out of the ground boss. He is in chapter 3, and he's extremely easy. He's very, very easy. I'm going to throw him right here with the 9 capital Z Guai right there. I mean, he's piss poor easy. You pull him out of the ground, and you beat him, and he dies. I literally forgot he existed. So, that's just where we're at. Pale Axe Stalwart. This is the guy you'll be able to talk to him. He's like in like a war kind of little area in chapter 5, right at the start, I believe, of chapter 5. I think right at the start of chapter 5. It might be the middle of chapter 5. I can't 100% remember, but it's either at the start or at the start of the middle of chapter 5. I think it's at the start. Now, this guy, very interestingly enough, I think he's easy. The only reason he's hard is because there's other enemies, but they're kind of fighting each other. So I'm going to throw him right here, like right below Mother of Stone. Like, he's very easy. So we're going to throw him there. Poison Chef. Poison Chef is in chapter 6. I think he's the easiest boss in all of chapter 6. I would put him probably in the easy category as well because of where you're at in the game and how much you have to just combat this guy. We're going to throw him right above Chen Long, right below Fast and Wind. I think that's a good spot for him. He's pretty damn easy. For the most part. He just doesn't take as long as Fast and Wind. He's not as annoying as Fast and Wind. He's just, you find him, you beat him, and it is what it is. Red Boy! Red Boy's hard, man. But I beat Red Boy my first try. So this is why this one's interesting. But I genuinely still believe he's harder than a lot of these bosses. I don't think he's harder than some of the Loongs. But I think he's harder than the Black Wind King. I think this is a really good spot for him right here. I think this is a really good spot for him right here. Yeah, we're going to put him right there. Honestly, Giant Shingang Dang, we're actually going to put down here, man. I'm going to put him right here. I'm going to move him. Sorry about that. Rusty Gold Cart. I'm going to throw him with the other carts. The only cart that gave me a problem was Crimson Silver. I don't know why. I don't know how. Yeah, that just is what it is. I don't know why and I don't know how, but they were the easiest bosses. They were very easy to me. So we're going to throw him with the other carts. We're just going to throw him in there with the other carts. Maybe the hardest of the other carts. But, I mean, I pounded the carts. I had no issue with these carts. They were literally just annoying. They were in my way. Scorpion Lord! You know what? Actually, boom. He's up there with Erling. Scorpion Lord's up there with Erling. I don't care. This dude is in the secret area of chapter 4. Right before, or like while you might be even encountering 100-Eyed Taoist Master. He's in the area you have to go where Duskvale is. And he is so fucking hard. He's one of the hardest bosses in the entire game. He's awesome. The only reason... You don't even have to fight him, really. Because you can just have him fight Duskvale and then he dies, whatever. But if you're going to fight him, he's very difficult. He is very difficult. He cooks you fast. A lot of your abilities don't really work with him. It's not like a huge arena to fight him in. We're just going to put him here. He is very, very hard, in my opinion. He is difficult as hell. Shigan Dang. So this, not to be confused with the giant Shigan Dang. I would say this guy's pretty average for the most part. I would say he's pretty average. I'm going to put him in like kind of the middle of average. I think that's a good spot for him. I'd put him like above Flint Vanguard maybe. Maybe below Flint Vanguard. Harder than this little frog boy. Let's put him right there. Let's put him right there. Let's put him right there. Son of Stones. I mean, this is another Chapter 6 boss. You find him, you kill him. He's very easy. Very easy. I'd say he's harder than some of these boys. At the start of very easy. He was such an easy cook. He didn't hit me one time. You have him half health before he even stands up. Again, Chapter 6, you just find him while you're running around. Erlang Shen. Erlang Shen. Now, if you don't know, this is the second phase of the Erlang. This is hard for me, man. Because I think normal Erlang, for me specifically, was harder than the Shen version. But we're just going to put them together, bro. We're going to put them together. Because as a whole, these were some of the hardest bosses in the entire game. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that. Damn! You know, Erlang's also one of the coolest bosses in the history of video games. I'm just going to be honest. This dude is awesome. Some people say he's harder than Radon. No way. But we're just going to throw him up there. We're going to keep him there in terms of this game. Stone Vanguard. Stone Vanguard. Easy. He's easy. He's very easy. He's very easy. I would say he's like right here in terms of easy. Honestly, no. No. You know what? He's like right here. Right here. Chapter 2, Stone Vanguard pops up. Very similar to the other Vanguard, the Flint Vanguard, whatever. You just pretty much fight him and you kill him. He's a very easy boss. Yellow Luong. Now, this is a different story. All I know is that I cheesed Yellow Luong. And if I did not cheese him, and by cheese, I just mean I heavy attacked him every single time. I just over and over, heavy attack, heavy attack, heavy attack, heavy attack. I had to watch a YouTube video because I thought he was impossible the first couple tries on him. I genuinely believe Yellow Luong, if I didn't cheese him, is right there. Right there. I don't care what anybody says. He's the end boss of the Luong questline. He's in Chapter 4. You run up some stairs and you find him and he cooks you for hours. Hours. Again, if you don't cheese him. I actually don't even know how to beat him without cheesing him. I just heavy attack over and over. You maintain your distance and you keep doing that and you can kill him. But he's going to go right there. This dude was hard, man. Supreme Inspector. Now, if you use the fan, he's not hard. If you use the fan that you're given, he's not hard. This is one of the first bosses in Chapter 6, right before you get your little, you get your floaty boy, your cloud. Where would I put him? Where would I put him? This one's interesting because I'm going to put him right below Black Luong. He's not that hard. He's difficult, but he's not crazy hard. He's definitely harder than Red Boy, Blackwing King, Elder Jinchi. Just like straight up, he's harder than them. He did take me some tries. But I don't think he was hard as some of these Luongs, GoldenEye Beast, Yellowbrow. Some of these boys are a little bit harder in my opinion. Now, the 4 Heavenly Kings. The 4 Heavenly Kings. This one's interesting to me. And the reason it's interesting is because it's kind of like the same with Erlang Shen, right? Like you fight him as like the Wukong rock form, from what I remember. It's like the secret ending of the game. I'm just going to throw them all up as the same, even though I think all 3 of these together I would put as a fight. I think all 3 of these together I would put as a fight. Genuinely. That's genuinely what I believe. I just consider them extensions to the Erlang. And that's where we're going to throw them right there. That's where we're going to throw them right there. Next is Red Luong. All right. He's so easy, man. He is so easy. I'm sorry. This dude is so easy. I'm going to put him, literally, I think he's easier than the Upper Monobat, harder than Stone Vanguard. I think that's a good spot for him. This is the first boss in the Luong. You go back to Chapter 1, you fight him. He's so easy, man. And honestly, the second sister here, Chapter 4 boss, another pretty damn easy boss for the most part, but we're going to put her in average. We're actually going to put her in average. I think she's like, probably like right here, right with the Linguzi. like with the Ling Scoozy. I think that's a good part. Tiger Vanguard Secret and the Tiger Vanguard, I think they're in the same category of being pretty damn difficult. I would say they're pretty damn difficult. I would put them up with Dusk Veil. Tiger Vanguard really cooked me, but both of these we're going to keep here. I think they're both around the same difficulty, in my opinion. Tiger Vanguard with being a little bit harder. They both cooked the living hell out of me, so we're going to throw it there. We're really going to throw it there. I think that's a great, I genuinely think that's a great spot to put both of those boys. Now, I'm going to be honest. I just looked this up. I don't even remember this dude. I do not remember that. Same with the Mad Tiger. Maybe Chapter 2, bro, just because I took a little bit of break after I beat Chapter 2, and I'll explain that why in a second when we get to the boss. But we're going to put him right there. I just don't remember him. I don't remember him, like, at all. Great Sage's Broken Shell. Bro, listen. I would put him below Scorpion Lord, probably. Harder than 100-Eyed Taoist Master. He took me a lot of tries. He cooks you and cooks you and cooks you. This is the last boss in the entire game. The last boss in the entire game. I'm pretty sure no matter what ending you go with, he's the last boss, right, in the entire game. He's not harder than the whole Erlang boys, just because I think Erlang's hard as hell. Erlang himself is Ishin reincarnate. He's harder than the actual last boss of the game, which is Wukong. But Wukong will cook you, and Wukong will make you feel like you are dirt, bro. He'll take your health potion. He'll heal. He'll slap you in the mouth. He'll heal. He'll laugh at you, bro. He'll just sit there and laugh at you. His moves are hard to dodge. His moves are hard to tell what he's going to do, but they're easy to dodge. I feel like you can panic roll out of a lot of his moves. He just can't use a lot of abilities on him. So that's where I'm going to put him right there. I think that's a very good spot for him. He's probably the coolest boss and my favorite boss maybe in the entire game. Just because of the swagger he cooked you with, the boss arena, that being right at the end of the game. You're pumped up. But I think that's a good spot for him right there. Now, the next, I can't even read this, bro. Top takes bottom and bottom takes top. Oh, I can read it. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. Now, this is the Roly Boy, right? The double come together, Roly Boy. The Roly Boy that cooked me 100 times. Not the boss, but the Roly Boy boss that cooked me 100 times. This is an average boss. It's average. It's not crazy hard. It's not crazy easy. I think I'd put it up here with just being an annoyingly hard boss. I'm telling you, something about this Poison Frog cooked me. So we're going to put him right there. I'm pretty sure it's chapter 5, right? With the Roly Boy when you're going up the hill and you got to dodge the rolls. So I'm going to put him right there. Next, we get to the Venom Taoist and the Venom Taoist second encounter. Both of these are pretty easy. These are both in chapter 4. This is how you unlock the secret area where you find Dusk Veil. You got to fight him 2 times. Both of these are going to be in average. I think that they're around this with the second sister. And I think both of them are pretty much the same difficulty. So I think both of them are here with the second being a little bit harder. I think this is a good spot for them. I've beat both of them first try. They were very easy for the most part. Misty Cloud, Cloudy Mist. Now, I'm going to be honest. One of the most annoying boss fights in the game. I was about to beat him like 12 times. And then he kept going invisible and kept doing all this shit. And I was just at 1 health the entire time running around trying to chase him. And just keep having to heal up and using all my heals. I got really annoyed. This is the chapter 5, actually. This is a chapter 5 boss. We're going to put him right here, right around where that last boss was. I think a lot of people are going to think he's very easy. For me, he was a little bit harder than he should have been, but we're going to put him right there. Violet Spider, another boss I beat first try, but was actually a very hard boss. I'm going to put him up there above Dusk Veil. I think actually Black Bear might have been a little bit easier. Boom, boom. Red Boy a little bit easier. Right there before Supreme Inspector. I beat it first try, but I know if I didn't beat it first try and I had to fight him again, there's no way I would have beat this boss within the next like 5 tries. It was like a first try, lucky run. A lot of hard abilities, really hard to get out of the way. A lot of poison, really annoying. I'm putting him right there, and that's where she's about to go. That's the mom of chapter 4. Not the last boss, but the mom and the wife, I think, of the big boy Taoist master that I put up here. Now, next boss, Wandering White. Hardest boss in the entire game. Nah, no, I'm kidding, but he is very hard. Considering when you fight him, bro, Considering when you fight him, I genuinely believe he's the hardest of all the difficult bosses when you fight him. Do not yell at me. I don't care what you think. I'm trying to take everything into consideration. I don't actually want to put him harder than these bosses because he's really not. But he will, boom, he'll cook you out of your life. You're not ready for it when you fight him. You don't have anything to fight this dude when you fight him. I didn't even have the transformation the first time I fought this boy. The transformation from Guangxi. He cooked me for a long time. He might have killed me 20, 25 times. I'm not joking. In terms of my death counter, this is where it was. This is how hard that boss was. I'm putting him here. I'm not moving. I'm not moving it. Waterwood Beast. Easy. Put him with the Son of Stones. Put him with the Son of Stones. Chapter 6. Put him with the Son of Stones. One of the easy, just random wildlife bosses in Chapter 6. Very easy. White Clad Noble. Now this dude, man, I'm telling you, bro. This is hard. But boom. He's not wandering white hard when you fight him. But he's Chapter 1 and he's very hard when you fight him. You don't have a lot to fight this dude. You don't have a lot of things. He has 2 phases. His second phase I generally think is easier than his first phase. The problem is he heals up health. Very unique boss fight. Very cool boss fight. One of my favorite boss fights actually in the entire game. You really got to count this boy down. And listen, I know what a lot of people are going to say. There's no way he's harder than some of the bosses later in the game. There's no way he's harder than Stone Monkey. I swear to you, I died more on him than I did on the Stone Monkey. Because where you're at, if I fought this dude in Chapter 5, I'd cook him in one hit. I'd cook him one try. But you don't fight him in Chapter 5, bro. You fight him in Chapter 1, and you don't have the power upgrades. Yaksha King. I'm going to put him right with Red Boy. I don't think he was any harder than Red Boy, really. I think he was like in the same. I think he was harder than the Violet Spider, but not Supreme Inspector hard. I beat him on my first try, but I know if I fought him again, I probably would not have beat him on my first try. I'm actually going to move Red Boy right here below. We're going to move him right here. We're going to move him right here. I think Black Wind King is actually harder when you go to fight him. Yellow Robed Squire. Don't remember him at all. Who am I looking at? Why don't I remember this dude literally at all? I don't know. I don't remember him. I don't remember him in any way whatsoever. Yellow Wind Sage. Y'all want me to be honest? Do y'all want me to be completely honest? It's the hardest boss in the entire game. He's the hardest boss in the entire game. I don't care what anybody says. Yellow Wind Sage is the hardest boss in Black Myth Wukong. He's harder than Erlang. He's harder than the Yellow Long. He's harder than the Scorpion Lord. He's harder than the Taoist Master. He's even harder than the Lang Bao Bao. Hardest boss in the entire game. I don't care. I will stand on that. I will literally stand on that. He took me so many tries, I almost quit the game over this dude. This was my consort Radon, my Melania of Black Myth Wukong. And I think there's literally an item to stop the whole like tornado phase. That's not even the problem, bro. The tornado, I might have beat him after 2 or 3 times once I got to his tornado phase, his third phase. It's the second phase. You don't have a lot to deal with him. You don't have enough damage yet to beat him. He is so long. It's like 5 minutes every time you go to fight this dude. It is a motivational slap in the face. He will put you in the dirt and make you feel like dirt. And I swear to God, the Yellow Wind Sage, bro, is the hardest boss in this entire game. And the most annoying boss, by the way, in the entire game. He's both. His moves are hard to dodge. His moves do a lot of damage. He summons an entire... He literally summons... Where was he at? He summons the little centipede boy. Fuban. He summons him. Boom! Domain expansion expert. I hate him. He's the hardest boss in the entire game. I don't care what anybody says. Chapter 2, hardest chapter in the entire game. I'm putting him there and I'm standing on business. Now, we get to the last couple here. We are almost done with the tier list. Yin Tiger. This is the guy you challenge in the Ryu Scroll area. A lot of people say he's difficult, man. I don't think he is. I'm just going to put him at the way end of difficult. I beat him my first try. He's a little bit above average. I would say he is difficult. All of these bosses I'd put above. I mean, when I fought him, I had so much stuff, and I cooked him in seconds. Like, he just died so fast. I just went invisible, and I kept hitting him with my my pillar stance heavies, and he died. He wasn't very hard. You know what? I'm not going to disrespect him like that. I'll put him like right here. I'll put him in the middle of difficult. How's that? How's that? Yin Yang Fish. Easy. Easy, 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 easy. He's the second phase of the Keeper of the Flaming Mountain. I put him in average. I'm just going to put him like right with him in average. I mean, I beat him first try. You have to fight them kind of at the same time. So he's the second phase of this guy. I actually think he's harder than this guy, but he's not hard, man. He was pretty damn easy. Zubaji. Now, both of these I beat first try. First encounter, very easy. I would actually put him as easy right here. I would actually put him as easy. I think he's the hardest of the easies, but I'm going to put him as easy. Now, the second, I would actually put him as difficult. And I beat him first try. However, he definitely is difficult. I would probably put him below the Vanguards, below the Kanjin. I would put him right above the Monk. I'd put him right above the Monk. I'm going to put him right here. He has a lot of moves. It's hard to dodge, or he's a lot of different transformations that he does that you have to get used to, their type of moves. Then you have to dodge out of the way, and it's kind of like that. That's just how it is. Not very hard, but definitely difficult in terms of overall in the game. I just somehow beat him on my first try. Mother of Flamelings. Now, this boss, also difficult, but probably one of the easiest of the difficults. This boss just summons so many things, and I think if you have the mantle, you throw on the mantle, you can just pop him off. But I mean, he's harder than most of these average bosses, I think. It's just a random boss you're gonna find in Chapter 5. You're gonna cook him out of the way. You're gonna get him done pretty quick, but he does so much damage, and I beat him with literally 0.5% health left. So I just wasn't ready for him. I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't very ready for him. So we're gonna put him right there. We're going to put him right there. Honestly, I'm kind of disrespecting some of these bosses by putting him right here. But we're still going to do it. I don't care. Mother of Flamelings was a lot harder than it should have been for me. And because this is my tier list, we're going to put him right there. And that's it. That's the tier list. So let me scroll down a little bit. Can I get the whole tier list in one thing? No, I really can't. It's too big, too long. Too long. Let me chill. Pause. And this is it. So if you guys want more tier lists, let me know. I'm definitely going to be doing a most fun to least fun boss tier list. Pretty much just a most annoying bosses in the entire game tier list. That's basically going to be the exact same thing, the most annoying to the most fun. That's how it's going to be. So we're going to do that, and I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.